I don't know. I feel like controlling perception is tough because other people's perception is so outside of ourselves. I my understanding of perception is like something that's not just a moment in a singular moment of time. I don't think it's something that happens in singularity. I think it's just something that's built over and informed by experiences and by history and by upbringing and everything else like around that, right?
I think I just grew constantly aware of what people like look at me and how they perceive me in the world as I walk and just live my life.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I would just wish that it wasn't a thing, you know. People would just not see what they don't understand. But that's it. It feels good. It feels like I'm being seen as a person, not as a queer person. It feels good to be seen when you're just seen.
Je pense qu'à un moment donné, j'étais trop dans la tête de la personne qui va me voir, donc trop consciente de moi, qu'est-ce que je vais dégager comme image, pour être toujours dans un processus de plaire en fait. Et puis au fur et à mesure du temps, je me suis rendu compte que ça m'empêchait d'aller atteindre mon propre plaisir. Le fait que moi je puisse le faire et qu'elle puisse le faire pour moi, c'est je pense les meilleurs regards, des regards vrais, tu sais, où tu te sens lu, tu te sens là vraiment maintenant.
C'est honnête.
Ouais, c'est honnête, c'est ça, c'est honnête. Mais c'est chaud d'être honnête des fois, tu sais, t'es vulnérable par rapport à ça, mais il y a une beauté derrière que j'aime beaucoup.
I wonder if any single thing that I've ever experienced with somebody has meant as much to them as it's meant to me. Sometimes I think it's impossible that somebody else could feel as deeply for an experience that we shared as I did. I was like taking her picture with the sweater on the roof, and she was looking at me and she was taking my picture, taking her picture. And I don't know, it felt really nice because I like made this thing for her. Like for me at least, my ultimate goal is probably to like myself and love myself and like self-actualize and like grow organically and like follow my impulses organically. And I feel like that should be like a precondition, you know what I mean? Like I can't believe that's like my ultimate aim. Like that should just be like something that we're like, I don't know, instructed into as a practice growing up. Instead I feel like we literally have to work on shedding all of the layers of hatred that we have for ourselves as we grow, which is like so miserable. But I don't know, now I think that I've kind of identified this, it's like, it's kind of happening.
Like even if I am not being perceived well and I'm not being accepted, it's like allowed me to break out of that, like what I needed to be doing to be accepted, I no longer worry about because I know that there is nothing that I could do.
You go through a process of like fully seeing and loving yourself through like loving someone else in a way that is queer.
I feel like this is like the most like committed and serious queer relationship I've been in, and it's because I've been taken seriously. Like
love is a form of being seen, like in like the purest form, I feel like.
Et sinon, j'ai eu d'autres relations amoureuses. C'était pas vraiment des relations amoureuses. Je peux appeler ça des coups de foudre.
Oui.
C'est juste qu'on s'est rencontrés, on s'est apprécié très rapidement, aimé peut-être. Je sais pas si d'autres personnes m'aimaient, mais moi je sais que j'ai eu des sentiments pour elle, puis ça s'est jamais donné au final, mais ça m'a aussi appris que l'amour, ça peut tomber sur n'importe qui, n'importe quand. C'est pas quelque chose que tu décides, ni que tu décides de la personne avec qui ça va se passer. Et c'est ça, je pense que c'est une bonne leçon de vie parce que je pense que je me suis toujours attendue à avoir des relations amoureuses avec des hommes. Puis j'ai déjà été amoureuse de femmes. Et je pense que quand j'ai commencé à tomber amoureuse des femmes, bah c'est là aussi que ça m'a ouvert un peu l'esprit par rapport à ça, que je me suis juste dit, bah, ça peut tomber sur n'importe qui.
I do want to be perceived as someone who's typically confident,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% confident. I'm not even close to being even 50% confident. I'm just doing what I can.
Growing up being like one of the only people of color like in my town, like I would often be perceived in like very negatively,
Okay.
and so I've always been like aware of just like people's eyes and how they see me, and I like got to like know like, oh, like there's that look again, like specific looks. And ever since I like grew more comfortable with my identity as like a trans individual and I started presenting more femme, it's different now. When people like compliment me or like just talk to me because of the way I'm dressed, I feel seen and I feel respected and I feel like I'm welcome and safe in my space.
Everything is about feeling the way we would have felt when we were just started in the world, when we were just babies. I think that when I feel the most love, like with my lover, and when we have moments together and I just close my eyes and I feel this feeling that now I know is love, it's in my stomach and it's all over my body, and it's almost the same feeling, or maybe it is the same feeling that I felt when I was very, very, very little and I would feel myself falling asleep on a parent's lap or on like an adult that I loved and trusted, and I would just feel their voices on their chest, and I would like feel it in my body, and I remember dozing off or whatever, starting to fall asleep and just feeling them talk, and then you can feel them like whisper because you're sleeping, baby. I don't know. I used to think that everything was so in the middle, but just falling in love has kind of changed it.
I feel like in that sense, love is very like profound in every human. We just sometimes not realize it, or we don't receive it, so we don't give it back because we don't know how to give and receive love. It's like there's a really few people who actually can see me. Other people don't really see me. It's just like I don't feel like I'm connected with them.
When you're surrounded in a room of people that look like you kind of become less aware of how you look like. There's a lot of like love and care when you're seen by someone who, I guess, like allows you to take off the layers.
Juste se sentir aimé, se voir aimé en fait, je pense.
Se voir.
Je pense que c'est ça.